Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's so exciting to see you all on TV. That's pretty great. I'm not that excited that I'm on TV, but I'm glad that you are. That's really wonderful. Really terrific, really great, really exciting, awesome. All right, so it is my understanding that this is going to be shown on cable TV locally here. This makes me wish that I lived here now, because now I can't see it at home. Darn. I hope I can get a DVD of it. Do you guys have DVDs? Yay, I want one. All right, fantastic. Hope that's not my phone. All right, I just got a wonderful text from our superintendent, Dr. Davida Colbert, and I had sent her some pictures last night of the show, and she has some serious issues in the district that she's attending to today, and she could not be here, but she texted back to me that she loves these paintings that you have done. So I'm really proud of that. I'm so happy that Dr. Colbert supports this art program. We do this once a year, and it's a real honor to be chosen because only one classroom per building gets picked. So not everybody gets to do this, all right? And once you get picked, why then we spend a lot of time. Dr. Colbert allows myself and Mr. Bajelli to leave our classrooms and pays for a substitute to come in so we can team teach you. And so you get to work with clay, which most of the other students don't get a chance to do. It's really a challenge for us to work with clay because we don't have a kiln in our building. We have to take everything to the high school and fire it. And that, just worrying about whether things are gonna break on the way. Some of your beaks actually broke off, but you'd never know it because Mr. Bajelli is very handy as a fixer-upper guy, and he actually went outside. I watched him do this. This is a true story. He went out and picked twigs. Oh, Mayor, are we allowed to pick twigs off of your trees out there? Okay. Oh, good. I was afraid we were going to get in trouble when I said that. So he picked some twigs off and glued them on as beaks. So if some of you have a twig beak, it's better than no beak. Okay? So, yes. Thank you, Mr. Bajelli, for the beaks. All right. Also, we got a chance to work with acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is one of the more expensive paints. And actually, acrylic paint is kind of like acrylic nails. It's made with the same medium. It dries very quickly and it dries hard. So it's a really fun to work with, but you have to get your paintings done quickly, or as you all remember, when you were painting, your paint dries up very fast. So sometimes we even mix a little water with it so that we can keep it going a little bit longer. But it's very exciting that everyone took red, yellow, and blue and white and mixed all of those colors, that we didn't go out and buy turquoise and, yeah. Yeah, who gets to do that? Well, you guys got to. It's pretty awesome. And so these paintings were done with maybe 5 or 6 photographs that were taken in Oak Park. And so they painted scenery from around Oak Park. But when you look at the paintings, they don't look like they don't look like clones. It doesn't look like 5 or 6 different photographs. And that's the genius of Mr. Bajelli, who knows more about drawing and painting than I probably ever will. He's very good. So we team up together. I'm the person who does the decorating. I used to be a picture framer, so I cut all of your mats and got all of the colors together for that. And so I do that side of things and all of the organizing. And Mr. Bajelli does the core, thank you. And Mr. Bajelli does the actual, really comes up with the art teaching that he's very talented at. So it was a great combination, yeah? Great combination. Mm-hmm. So we really thank our district for supporting us. And then now I really have to say we have to thank the mayor. We have discovered, Mr. Bajelli and I, in the process of doing this for the second year, that there is a lot of pride in this building. I think they sort of hold their breath as we come in and put things up, because this building stays pristine from top to bottom, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And we walk in the door and they're like, oh, they're there. Okay, okay. And so we really want to treat this building with respect. And so it's such a beautiful space for your paintings. And we feel very comfortable that when your paintings go up here, that the setting here does not allow for residents or whomever to come in and touch them and mar them and pull them down and destroy them. So they're beautiful in here. Whereas if we had put them in another environment, we might not put that kind of matting in. This looks like an art show. This looks like an art exhibition, any professional art exhibition. So that's why we're so proud of everything that goes into it. So our mayor really supports art, and she's always saying to me, I want you to do this in art, Mrs. Bigham. I want you to do this in art, Mrs. Bigham. Can you do the art fair, Mrs. Bigham? We're going to have a commission, Mrs. Bigham. We want art in Oak Park. Every sentence out of her mouth is, we want art in Oak Park. So she supports the art. She's also a former educator and was a teacher, was it 30 years? 32 years. So she understands what we as teachers go through. So to have that kind of support, that's one of the reasons why we're all here. And Dr. Colbert really, really supports us doing these really high-level thinking, highly creative activities. So we're so proud of what we do. The kids. Can parents, can you guys give your children a big round of applause? They really deserve it. We are so proud and so honored to have so many of you in attendance today. We couldn't have asked for a better turnout. In fact, if there was a better turnout, there wouldn't be room to sit down. So this is just about perfect. And kids, you know what? If it weren't for your parents, you wouldn't be here to do anything at all. Can you kids give your parents a big round of applause, please? Thank you. All right, I think I've talked long enough, and I would like to now turn the microphone over to Mr. Bajelli. He's going to talk a little bit more about the art, and then the mayor's going to speak, and then we'll go on to specifically naming some of the honorees today. Okay?
Okay, I'm not too good at this, but I guess I'll talk about the art. The art was a challenge. When we first planned this, Mrs. Bigham said we could maybe do the streets of Oak Park. That's normally a 7th, maybe 8th grade standard. That we're talking, you know, perspective is not a concept that is easy to understand. It's easy to understand, it's not easy to achieve. I mean, they can understand that things narrow out, and the kids all understand that a house is bigger and close to you, but it's smaller as it goes back. But how do you make it look that way on a flat surface? So it takes some doing. You need to know how to use the ruler and how to line things up, and parallel lines and lines that go back to converge into space. And so that was our first task. Then how do you get things that you've just drawn to look more dimensional? You use shadowing. You need to know that one side of the building is going to be darker, the other side of the building is going to be lighter. So we had to learn how to mix shades and tints. And that was a concept that needs to be kind of drawn out, because a building is one color. Why should it have two colors, Mr. Bajelli? The sun and the shadow creates a whole different dimension. So we had to learn that concept as well. And then the big thing was the gray streets. Big chunk of gray. How do you make a big chunk of gray not look so boring? And that's where the innovation, we just stuck with the primary colors, which was red, yellow, and orange. I mean, red, yellow, and blue, and white. And we mixed our gray. So we didn't use black and white, because black flattens color. It will make it look flat. And we were about making dimension, not flatness. So I didn't allow the students to use any black. And that's what gave them the nice dimensional streets with the shadowing that's in them. That's a concept. That's more of a college concept, though. Most people don't ever think of making a gray with the primary colors and white. That was just the concept that I remember from college. So what this allows us to do, this is such an ideal situation that we've created, is when I work with like 9 students at a time, my creativity comes out too. I start remembering what I learned in college. What could really pop this picture out? What does she have here that we could do and enhance this work? And I think that's the beauty of this, because from where they start at one point and they progress so rapidly because you're there right with them. And Mrs. Bigham then keeps the other part of the class doing other work while I'm doing, this type of thing. And the same with the clay. They love the clay. Most of the students love the clay, I think. Don't you agree? Yes. And the clay was all done in one day. But I broke it into steps for them. How do you make the wings? How do you make the tail? How do you make the body of the bird? How do you attach it? How do we now put the detail and texture into it? And then after that was fired, we came back and we had to glaze it. Now, glazing was another interesting thing, too, because glazing is normally just one glaze. You normally put one color on. Well, if you want to do a woodpecker with all the lines in it, that's not going to work. You're going to need to specifically draw in that color. So we use what is called underglaze, where you can actually put in the color, and then you put a shiny glaze on top of that, and it will give it the exact effect that you want. And those turned out really good, too. So I think all in all, it was a great experience for me and for the students. I mean, I'm really proud of what they accomplished, and I think they should be proud of themselves.
Aren't you just amazed? Aren't you just amazed? I remember in 8th grade when our art teacher taught us about perspective, and I just went, oh, that's how you do it. It was like, I still remember that lesson. These are phenomenal teachers that you have been dealing with, outstanding, willing to challenge you to raise higher than you think you can go, to teach you college concepts in 4th grade. You should be so pleased and so proud of them. And your teachers who coordinated all of this and made this happen in their classrooms, which is another jump. Having been an educator, I know that the teachers have had to do extra work to make this happen. I wanted to tell you that your superintendent, Dr. Davida Colbert, also has been so cooperative. This is the 2nd annual art exhibit that the city and the schools are coming together to make happen. This is kind of a first. We are a community. The schools and the city are together as one community. We want you to feel that this is your house. This is the people's house here in City Hall in Oak Park. And we're so proud to have these amazing pictures here. Everyone who comes into City Hall looks at these pictures and thinks that high school students did this, because it couldn't be 4th graders. It just couldn't be. It's too wonderful and too amazing. We're also here to learn about city government. The part of city government that touches your life is when it snows and your mom can't get her car out and the city snowplow comes and cleans your streets. That's a city government function. In the fall, when there's leaves all over and the city truck comes and brushes up those leaves, the part of government that touches your life directly is really not national or state government, it's city government. The other garbage truck comes and picks up your garbage. That's a city function. Keeping your parks clean and building new parks for you, that's a city function. Remember the flowers that were out on Coolidge this summer? Our city taxes put those out. Remember the lights at Christmas time? That the city put that out. See the new signs that say Welcome Oak Park? That's what the city government does for us. The Summer Fest and the Winter Fest and all those fun activities. Our library is a city library. Our city taxes make that happen for us. The rec center, if you play on a baseball team or any kind of summer rec classes, that's a city function. The library is opening up a teen room, by the way, so when you get a little older, you ought to have fun at the library. It's probably crying about the taxes. There are 3 branches of government in the city. The administrative, which is run by our city manager, Eric Tungate. The judicial, which is the 42nd District Court. If someone gets in trouble, they go to the court there. And the legislative, that's our part. There's 5 of us who sit up here, along with the city manager and the city clerk and the city attorney. These 5 people are council members, including the mayor, and we're the ones that make the laws and make the decisions. You know, just like home, a budget, your mom's and dad's budget's limited. There's only so much money. And if you go take this trip, then you can't take that class. And you have to make decisions because money is limited. And the city council helps us make decisions about what to do with our city money. What would be the most fun for everybody? Fun way to spend this money? What would help the most for all of us? What would bring new energy and new life to our city government? And we have our assistant to the city manager, Crystal McLean here, who is going to come up and we have our economic development director up here, Kim Maroney. Come on up. And these are people who are working on our city team who are making things happen in the city of Oak Park. If you see, did you see in the news a new restaurant's gonna open? There was an old building that used to be WWJ, and it was designed by a famous architect, and there's art inside that building. And I was afraid that somebody was gonna tear that old building down and put something new up. But we lucked out, and the company came in that likes to redo old historic buildings. And they are gonna put a one-of-a-kind restaurant on 8 Mile and Myers. Everybody's gonna come from everywhere to see that restaurant. And that's one of the things that Kim Maroney does for us, is she brings new life into Oak Park. And if you like the way this, this event was put out, Crystal McLean is the one who made this happen. Can we give these guys a round of applause? So what do we do? What do we do? We have to decide, do we have enough money to hire another police officer? Should we put money into making some fun event for the people of Oak Park? I love events because we're a community, and an event like this that brings us all together, we're one group of people, and we belong together, and we are together having fun today, doing fun things, and that's to me what the city's all about, is doing more of this. If there's a problem in the park, the city council says, well, no, maybe we have a curfew so that people can't hang out there at 2 in the morning and cause trouble. The city makes, if there's a problem, like in your class, if there's a problem, you and your teacher make a rule about it. Everybody's got to hang up their coat in the coat room, and you have to put your boots under your coat, and you know, it's a little problem, and there's a little rule to go with it. It's the same in the city. The legislative branch finds a problem, and we're problem solvers. Let's solve this problem. What can we do to make this a better place? So 9 Mile Road is a big, wide street that's hard to cross. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna narrow the street down, have bike lanes. You'll be able to take your bike up and down 9 Mile Road and go from Ferndale to Southfield, because we're gonna put bike lanes in there. And where they need parking, we're gonna put parking in there. And we're gonna put big islands in the middle at 9 and Coolidge, and it's gonna be like a park. We can close off 9 and Coolidge and have festivals there. So it's gonna be more ways to bring us together. And there'll be benches to sit on. And we're talking about hammocks, a little hammock park, and a park for the kids with things to climb. And we're going to make 9 Mile Road from kind of a boring stretch into something that will bring us all out. Walking our dog, walking our baby, grandma walking with a walker, everybody can be there. We also have, the most important part of city government is our public safety department, headed by Director Steve Cooper. Director Cooper, would you come on up, please? We are so proud of having Director Cooper as the head of our public safety department. In Oak Park, we don't have a police and fire and emergency. That's all one person. So Director Cooper trains people to be, if grandma falls down, it's a police officer that comes to help her. If there's a fire, a police officer puts on his fire gear and comes out to put out the fire. If there's a problem in your neighborhood, it's a police officer that comes out. And these are, police, fire, and emergency are all together in one person. And Director Cooper is in charge of all of these people who are beloved in our city. Our police officers are loved by our residents who say, they helped me. They were there for me when we needed them, and that's a part of city government. Can we give Director Cooper a huge hand?
The mayor is too kind. Like I said, it's a pleasure to be here today and to see all the smiling faces. And like the mayor said, it's our honor and our privilege and our pleasure to serve you. We do the best job that we can for the best residents, I say, anywhere in the world. You've always supported us. You continue to stand by us and stick with us through good times and bad times. And we just can't say enough good things about the respect and the support that we receive from the residents in the city of Oak Park. Like I said, if you ever need anything, if you're ever just in the area and you want to stop by and say hi and make me buy you a cup of coffee or something, then please stop in my office anytime. I have an open door policy, and I love to see you. And that goes for all the smiling young boys and girls that I see here as well. And I trust that they're all doing well in school, and you guys are going to continue to do well in school, right? All right, Easter's coming up, so we want to be good. Want to make sure the Easter Bunny stops by the house this weekend. So again, like I said, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to serve. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call me. God bless you. I love you all.
We are so lucky with our public safety director. He is doing what's called community policing, which means that he's at events like this. He's at block clubs. He's at city events. He's part of us. He's one of us. He's not somebody out there. He's one of the community. And his officers are the same. So we are blessed. Crystal, did you have some things you wanted to say about municipal government? Part of the tour. Okay. We're going to have a tour after this. So what I wanted to show you is what a city council meeting looks like. And so I wonder if you and you and you and you would follow me up. Let's see, can you scoot by? And I'm going to sit here, and 2 of you sit here and here, and 2 of you sit on the other side. Yep. Yep, I'm going to sit in this one, you sit here. There you go. Okay, so if this was a city council meeting, this is where the city council, how do you get to be in the city council, is that the people over 18, when you're 18, I expect you to register to vote in an election. There's our city council member, what is your name?
Kay Vaughn.
Council member Kay Vaughn, and what is your name?
Kayana.
And council member Kayana.
Amadou.
Amadou, council member Amadou, and?
Veronica.
and Councilmember Veronica. We'd like to congratulate these council members because, hey, can we get back the picture? There you go, all right. Because they have to be elected. Once you're 18, you get to vote. And people run for office. How do you run for office? You don't really run. You knock on people's doors and you say, I'd like to bring business and new events and a lot of energy to Oak Park. Would you vote for me? And enough people liked what I said that they voted for me and gave me a chance to be the mayor, which is the best job in the whole world. And the council members did the same thing. They had ideas for what to do for Oak Park, and they run. And sometimes several people are running for one job. And you have to pick the one that you think will do a great job. So then we run a council meeting. And this is a gavel, a little like hammer thing. And to start the council meeting, we go, there you go. This council meeting will come to order, and then we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and then, just like in class, you take attendance. The city clerk takes attendance to see who's there, and then we talk about city problems or wonderful city events, and when that's all done, we vote. And so, we could vote to bring an art fair to the city of Oak Park for next year. And so if you want an art fair next year, I'd like the council members to vote yes or no, and they take turns. So if you want another art fair next year, would you vote yes? Say yes.
Yes.
Would you vote yes?
Yes.
Yes. Would you vote yes?
Yes.
How about you?
Yes.
And I would vote too, so it's unanimous. This is the second annual, and next year we're going to have the third annual art fair. Give them a hand. Now I'm going to give this back to your organizer and your teachers about the tour that you're going to take of City Hall. City Hall is the place where we conduct these meetings, where we vote, and everybody's invited to come to the City Hall for the meetings Monday, the first and third Monday of the month, and you're invited to come and give your opinion also. There's an audience opinion time. So one time, a second grade class wrote letters to the city council, and they said, you know, the park looks like it needs some help. It is just kind of run down looking, and the train has wood that's not doing too well, and the paint was off, and I hurt my hand on one of the playground equipment pieces, and so they wrote letters. So we brought it to city council, and we talked to our city council members, and they said the park is an important part of Oak Park that means a lot to our children and our families. And so we voted, like we just voted here, to spend some of our city money to fix up the park. And now the train is freshly painted, and everything is fixed nice, and the trees are trimmed nice, and we feel pride in our park. There you go. There you go. Thank you. So can we turn it over to our teacher to organize the tour? And I'd like to thank our council members. Can you give them a round of applause? And here we go. Come on down. Yep. Thanks for being council member. What's it?
Okay, we have a slight change of plans. I just got a text from Dr. Colbert, and whatever it was that was keeping her away, she's actually on her way here. I know, isn't that great? Let's hear, even though she's not here yet, let's hear it for Dr. Colbert. Awesome. Okay, so I don't think that we'll be doing our tour right at the moment. So I just wanted to share with everyone a little bit about our awards. What we're going to be doing is just so that you kind of know, housekeeping-wise, when we dismiss today, we are going to be handing to each child who participated and did a painting or came, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult because let's say that you painted an amazing painting and then for whatever reason, you get switched to another room. If you get switched to another room, then you're not part of that class, and so there might be a few paintings up from students who are now no longer part of that classroom. But usually if there's a switch that occurs, usually a new student takes their place. So we do have a few students that are here, and we're so glad you're here, but maybe didn't get the opportunity to paint. So even if you didn't paint, those few students who did not, you still are allowed to take a sketchbook with a pencil with you today. So everybody leaves with something. And of course, everyone is allowed to have was given the t-shirt as well. I also want to thank Dr. Colbert because this is a really wonderful way to celebrate because you'll get to keep these t-shirts forever and even as a memento, you know? Of this special occasion. So we're really proud that we were able to have that. Now, as far as the other prizes in the basket, those are going to be going to to those who have the ribbons. So at this point in time, I'm going to announce a few of those ribbons. Actually, before we do that, I'd like to honor each class individually. So I'd like to start with, if I could please, is Mrs. Whittick's class still here? Could Mrs. Whittick's class please come up front? We'd like to have everyone from Miss Whittick's class come up front. All right. And we have six children. Can you spread down just a little bit? Now, these children, let me tell you, they are in our self-contained classroom, and they are an amazing community. I have such a wonderful time teaching them art. They are so eager. Their teacher, Mrs. Whittick, is unfortunately unable to be with us today. She is such a go-getter. She has written grants, brought artists in, and had them do special projects, just on all kinds of things with them with art. And they are so open to it and so talented and hardworking. So I would like everyone to really recognize Miss Whittick's class, please. All right, Miss Whittick's class, you can go ahead and have a seat now. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I'd like to recognize Miss Banks' class, please, from Einstein. Could you all come on up, please? Oh, you're okay. You're good. All right, let me tell you just a little bit about Miss Banks' class. I had the pleasure of teaching at Einstein a few years back, and Mrs. Banks at that time was the person who dealt with behavior before she actually got her teaching position. And she was always coming up to me in the hallway and saying, here's some pastels for you. You take them and use them. Here, take this. Your kids need these to do art. And she loved art. She really loved Monet. She loves impressionistic kind of art. She was constantly engaging me in art conversations in the hallway. So it was natural that we chose Miss Banks. Unfortunately, she was injured and she has not been able to be here. So we have Miss Miller, and of course Miss Miller and I go way back because she has come in and been a guest teacher in my room so many times. Come on up, Miss Miller. Miss Miller, come on, Miss Miller. All right. So as you can see, you know, when I go to my room at Key School, it's very funny because when I look out of my window, actually Miss Banks' house is right in front of my window. So I know Miss Banks is okay, but we're so happy to have such a wonderful person to step in and work with these children, Miss Miller. So these children really enjoyed this process, and we had some people who, were not so excited about art and who are now just really lit on fire about art and who are cooperating with us and doing things they weren't doing at the beginning of the school year. And art can do that for a group of people and for a classroom. And when they really realize how much fun it is and how great it stimulates not only your mind but your personal expression, it's amazing how quickly kids can get on board. So I want to honor Miss Banks' class with Miss Miller. And Miss Miller, do you have a couple of things to say about your children? Yes, you do.
Please. Just wanted to say thank you, the mayor and everyone, for inviting us. But art is an expression. I haven't had a chance to explain to the kids. My best friend, she had an art studio, and she would tell me that that's how you can express yourself. Give the kids the opportunity to just express through art. And I really do just want to sadly say she passed away, but I've grown to learn art is something that has helped a lot of students come out of shyness. And yes, Ms. Banks' class, I didn't know they could draw. Oh, yeah. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Banks' class. You can have a seat, please. Okay. Thank you so much. And now I would like to talk about Miss Walker's class over at Pepper. Could I have Miss Walker's class please come to the front? Again, when I went to think about who would make a good teacher to work with us at Pepper, I thought about Miss Walker immediately because she and I share a love of anime movies. And those of you who have me at Key School know that every year I usually show a very particular animator. His name is Miyazaki, and he does amazing movies like Ponyo and Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery Service and many great movies like that, Howl's Moving Castle. And what a lot of people don't know is that this particular animator does not use a computer, and every minute that you watch his movie, it's 360 paintings that someone painted. If I could have Miss Walker's class just, there you go. I know you're excited to be up here. All right, I'm the only one excited to be up here. Okay, I get it. No problem. So anyways, when I show a movie like that and you get to see 50,000 paintings, hand paintings, that means hundreds of people spent 2 or 3 years painting those. And Miss Walker and I have a love of the same animator. So I know that she's a big supporter of the arts and she understands a lot of art concepts. So when we're making our artist statements, she's been a real asset and she's supported us and changed her schedule around and done a lot to facilitate this with her students, has been so supportive. So I really appreciate, and Miss Walker's class, both Mr. Bergelli and I have Miss Walker's class, so we were really able to come together, and I would work with them on Friday and he would work with them on Wednesday, I think it was, or Monday. So that way we were able to facilitate this contest with the two of us going between schools. So it really was wonderful to work with these children and have them really shine the way that they have. They've done an excellent job. So if everyone could give a big round of applause for Miss Walker's class. Thank you. All right, thank you, Miss Walker's class, and you can go ahead and have a seat. And finally, I would like to talk about Miss Thomas's class. Miss Thomas has done an amazing job with her students this year. I've had some of her students since they've been in kindergarten, and even some of their brothers and sisters back in kindergarten, and they are just an amazing group of children. And there is not a harder working teacher in Key School than Miss Thomas right here. She is always on top of every detail, and if I need something to happen, she makes it happen. And you know, you find out as you do anything, as you navigate through any situation with people, who you can count on to get things done. And Miss Thomas gets things done. And you know, it's really nice as an art teacher. You know, I get to see all of the children. And one of the things I enjoy the most about Miss Thomas is that she takes pride not just in how her children behave for her, but she takes pride in how her children behave no matter where they go. That's one of the cornerstones of how she conducts her classroom. Is she wants her class to have a reputation to be able to go anywhere or have any guest teacher walk in and not have any issues with her children. And year after year after year, I see children that I would never think could do those things. And I don't know what magic she has, but she does. She does. And it's consistent. It's year in and year out. And so I really admire her as a teacher. She gets the job done. So I'm very proud to be a colleague of hers and to be standing here with her children. So if I could have Miss Thomas's class come up, please. And I apologize that I forgot to have Miss Walker talk, but I'm going to have Miss Thomas come up and say a word or two because she's awesome.
Thank you, Ms. Bigham, for that wonderful, all those accolades. I just really wanted to thank the city of Oak Park, City Hall, for providing this avenue for all of our kids in Oak Park to express themselves. I never would have thought that they could do such wonderful work. I'm just been amazed by your work, Mr. Bergelli. You guys are awesome. The kids could not be, the students of Oak Park could not be any luckier to have you all here. I'm very proud of my kids. I'm very proud of all of the Pepper and Einstein students as well. You all did an amazing job, and I just thank you for letting us be here.
Has Dr. Colbert arrived? Okay, is she available to come and speak to the children? 1 second? Okay, all right. Well, we don't mind waiting a second. Dr. Colbert, we are so happy that you made it. Can we all give Dr. Colbert a round of applause? Thank you for coming.
I want to say that definitely congratulations, 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 congratulations. Really apologize for being late, but please know that things have to be prioritized. So we do have a student with a medical situation right now at the school that we are taking care of, and you're gonna see me run back out the door. But I wanted to run over here just to say that this is an honorable moment. I wanna thank Ms. Bingham and Mr. Bugelli and all of the teachers at all of our buildings who continue to support the arts, which are very, very important. But most importantly, we must thank our students and parents, because parents make all the difference. Parents make the choices. Parents choose educational opportunities. Parents choose to allow their students to participate in great things. So because of you, this is all possible. We can only get better because of you. We can only continue to do great things with you as our partner. So I definitely thank you. I hope if you have any concerns or any challenges, you will know that I am always open. So please feel free to contact me. And please know that arts are important to students and are a definite encouragement for them to move forward. This is another tool that they can use to take this to the next level. These are artists mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Let us continue to encourage the arts. Again, I thank our students. Thank you.
All right. right, thank you. Ms. Thomas's class, you can go ahead and have a seat. Let's give them another round of applause. Excellent job. All right. Before I announce the students who received the Mayor's Award and the Superintendent's Award today, I just want to tell you a very funny little story. And since Dr. Colbert's leaving, that's funny. She doesn't have to hear this. But Mr. Bajelli and I were talking about, well, should we do the art contest again this year? You know, it was a lot of work last year, and we really enjoyed it, and we thought we wanted to do it again. So I said, well, let's see if Dr. Colbert wants to do it again. So I just wrote a little email, and I said, Dr. Colbert, we would love to do the art contest again, and I'm up for it. What do you think? And I sent it to her. And within 60 seconds, she said, yes, do it. 60 seconds. And I looked at Mr. Bajelli, and he looked at me, and I said, well, I guess we're doing it. We got our answer. That's how, there's not even a second thought with our superintendent as to whether or not we do these kind of important educational opportunities. 60 seconds, that was it. So we're really looking forward at this point to moving on again into next year. We're going to keep this up. Okay, so I'm going to now announce, let me grab my paper over here. Because of the time frame that's involved in counting all of the ballots, what I had hoped for was for people to put a number on it, and I noticed that a lot of kids wrote names. So we're going to have to track the names. Which painting is it? It's probably going to take us a couple of hours to count ballots. So we're unfortunately not going to be able to announce the children winners here at this event, which was what we had hoped to do. However, we do have the mayor and the superintendent have awarded 6 different people. So those will be announced. And then what will happen is that your teacher will, there's 2 from each class, your teacher will escort you to the prize basket where there are some oil pastel sets, colored pencils, things like that. And you'll get a chance to pick something from the basket. Pick something that you, if you're one of those selected, pick something that you would be interested in that you can take home and do some artwork at home with. That is the purpose here, to continue your art expression. So the Superintendent Award is from Miss Banks' class. It's Trees and Cars by Elijah Harris. Is Elijah here? All right, come on up, Elijah. Okay. And from Ms. Thomas's class, Springtime of Trees, Jayla White. Come on up, Jayla. And from Ms. Walker's class, The Spring Day, Treasure James. Is Treasure here? Okay. All right, Dr. Colbert, do you have a moment to take a picture with the Superintendent's Award? Come on over here, we're gonna get a, I'll take a picture. I know the city wants one too. All righty, those are the 3 right there.
Of my award, yay. Come on, we're together. Now, can I have it? Can I have it? Or at least can I get a copy of it from my office? Can I get one identical from my office? All right, there.
Yes, we'll be happy to talk with these children and make an arrangement that you might be able to get one of those paintings, okay? All right, absolutely.
Because I need them before they go up in price. Before they're worth.
Wonderful, okay, fantastic, all right. And now I'd also like to call up the Mayor's Awards, please, now. And that is from Ms. Banks' class, Braylon Collins. Veronica Compton, Beautiful Evening of Winter Trees. And Liera, The Neighborhood, Liera DeBoge from Walker's class, all right. Okay, and we'll take a picture of those of you.
Everybody scrunch in closer, 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 friendlier, friendlier. Yep, friendlier, even friendlier. Cool.
I could get the teachers to take those children to the gift basket at this time, that would be great. And then when they're done with that, then we're going to take, everyone is going to go one class at a time and get your sketchbooks. Okay?
So I'm gonna go read at a school. If you're still going, I'll come in.
No, you're good. I think we won't be here later than 1:30. All right, if I could, you guys may go ahead and it's going to take probably a minute. Oh, I just wanted to make one also final remark. I was so inspired by the police officer. I did not know that you invited teachers for coffee, so, you know, I'll be happy to accept. Thank you. Awesome. All right, I'm going to make some closing remarks, and then we're going to let children pick and mingle a little bit longer until the buses get here. I think we might be able to call the buses early because it looks like we're going, yeah. All right, I want to thank everyone for coming. Let's please give all of these fine people that made this happen a final round of applause. The teachers, the mayor, the superintendent, the parents, the children, everyone, and just Art. Let's give Art a big round of applause. Yay, Art. Thank you all so much. It has been wonderful, wonderful doing this with you. Have a great day.
This is too loud. Ooh. Woo! She was a student month. Testing. You okay? I think I saw you there.